Picture this. You're at the top of the charts, your song is everywhere, millions of people are singing your lyrics, and you're convinced you've made it big. Then, poof, you vanish from the music scene like you never existed. Today, we're counting down 10 bands from the 1970s who gave us unforgettable hits, then disappeared without a trace. Some of these stories will shock you. Let's dive in. Number 10, Stealers Wheel, Stuck in the Middle with You. Stuck in the Middle with You is one of those tracks that's been burned into pop culture forever, especially after Quentin Tarantino used it in that infamous torture scene in Reservoir Dogs. The Scottish band was formed in 1972 by childhood friends Jerry Rafferty and Joe Egan. The song was actually written as a parody of Bob Dylan's style, mocking the music industry. The lyrics about clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, was their sarcastic take on dealing with music executives. Here's where it gets interesting. Rafferty actually quit the band before the song became a hit. When it reached number 6 in the US and number 8 in the UK in 1973, selling over 1 million copies, he was persuaded to come back. Despite the massive success, Stealers Wheel couldn't hold it together and disbanded by 1975 due to mounting tensions. Rafferty went on to solo success with Baker Street, while Joe Egan's solo career never took off. The song found new life decades later thanks to Tarantino. Number 9, Ace, How Long? If you've ever been cheated on, you know the feeling of asking, how long has this been going on? But here's the twist. Ace's How Long wasn't about romantic betrayal at all. The British pub rock band featured Paul Carrack on keyboards and vocals. How Long was actually written by Carrack about their bass player, Terry Comer, moonlighting with other bands. Talk about awkward, writing a hit song about your bandmate's disloyalty. The smooth, soulful song reached number 3 on the US Billboard Hot 100 in 1975 and number 20 in the UK. After 3 albums and mounting tensions, the band broke up in 1977. Ironically, Terry Comer stayed with the band until the very end. Paul Carrack went on to join Squeeze and later Mike and the Mechanics, where he sang lead on hits like The Living Years. In 2020, 45 years after its original release, How Long hit number 1 on Billboard's Rock Digital Song Sales Chart after being featured in an Amazon Prime commercial. Number 8, The Knack, My Sharona. Few songs capture pure, raw energy quite like My Sharona. That driving beat, that infectious guitar riff, it's the sound of unfiltered desire. And yes, there really was a Sharona. Sharona Alperin was 17 when she met 25-year-old Doug Fieger, frontman of the Knack, in 1978. Fieger was instantly smitten and went on a 2-month songwriting frenzy. Released in June 1979, the song shot to number 1, staying there for 6 straight weeks. It was Capitol Records' fastest-selling debut since the Beatles' I Want to Hold Your Hand. But success became a curse. Critics accused them of being manufactured and overhyped. An artist started a Nuke the Knack campaign, with t-shirts reading, Honk if you've slept with Sharona. Their follow-up, Good Girls Don't, reached number 11, but their second album tanked. Doug Fieger died in 2010, effectively ending the band. The song still generates between $100,000 and $300,000 annually in royalties. As for Sharona, she became a successful Los Angeles real estate agent at mysharona.com. Number 7, Blue Swede, Hooked on a Feeling. Ooga Chaka, Ooga 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 Chaka. You know exactly what song I'm talking about. But Blue Swede didn't create those nonsense syllables. The song was originally written by Mark James in 1968 and recorded by B.J. Thomas, reaching number 5 in 1969. British singer Jonathan King added the Ooga Chaka intro in 1971. Blue Swede, a Swedish rock band fronted by Björn Skifs, took King's arrangement and cranked it up, releasing their version in 1974. It exploded, hitting number 1 in the United States and topping charts in Canada. They had one more hit, Never My Love, which reached number 7, then vanished. The band existed for just a few years before disbanding, The song found new life in 1992 in Reservoir Dogs, then again in 2014 when Guardians of the Galaxy featured it prominently, introducing it to a whole new generation. Blue Swede had vanished, but their Ooga Chaka lived on forever. Number 6. Black Oak, Arkansas. Jim Dandy. Southern rock in the early 1970s was all about raw energy and rebellious spirit. Black Oak, Arkansas embodied that, led by frontman Jim Dandy Mangrum, whose raspy voice and outrageous stage antics influenced David Lee Roth and Axl Rose. Jim Dandy was a cover of Laverne Baker's 1957 R&B hit. The band's version featured incredible vocal interplay between Mangrum and female vocalist Ruby Starr. Released in December 1973, the song reached number 25 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 12 in Canada. The album went gold, becoming their career high point. But maintaining that success proved impossible. The band released several more albums, but none achieved the same impact. Here's the surprising part. Jim Dandy Mangrum never disappeared. He's kept Black Oak, Arkansas going for over 50 years, releasing new music as recently as 2023. But for most fans, they remain frozen in time. That one moment in 1973 when Jim Dandy came to the rescue. Number 5. Lucifer's Friend. Ride the Sky. Most people have never heard of Lucifer's Friend, yet Ride the Sky is considered a proto-metal masterpiece that influenced countless bands. The German rock band formed in Hamburg in 1970, featuring British vocalist John Lawton. Their debut album opened with Ride the Sky, an 8-minute epic combining progressive rock with early heavy metal. The massive guitar riffs, organ swells, and Lawton's powerful vocals created something genuinely ahead of its time. The song never charted significantly, but gained a cult following. John Lawton later joined Uriah Heep in 1976. Lucifer's Friend released several albums throughout the 1970s, but never broke through commercially. They were too heavy for mainstream radio, too progressive for metal fans. The band dissolved in 1982, briefly reformed in the 1990s and 2010s, but remained a footnote. Ride the Sky lives on as the ultimate if you know, you know song, a hidden gem that influenced generations of musicians who did break through. Number 4. Norman Greenbaum. Spirit in the Sky. Released in December 1969, Spirit in the Sky dominated 1970 and became one of the most recognizable rock songs of all time. What makes this fascinating is that Norman Greenbaum, a Jewish man from Massachusetts, wrote one of the most successful Christian-themed rock songs ever. The song features one of the most distinctive guitar tones in rock history, that fuzzy, distorted sound achieved by playing through a Fender Twin reverb amplifier turned up full blast. Spirit in the Sky reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and sold over 2 million copies. It went to number 1 in the UK, Australia, Canada, and several other countries. So, what happened to Norman Greenbaum? After Spirit in the Sky, he released several more albums, but nothing came close to replicating that success. By the early 1970s, he had essentially retired, moving to a farm in Northern California to raise goats. Now, in his 80s, Greenbaum has been out of the music business for 50 years, content to live off royalties from his one massive hit. One perfect song was enough for him. Yes, number 3, Focus, Hocus Pocus. If you've ever heard someone yodeling over a hard rock guitar riff, you've encountered Focus and their utterly bizarre masterpiece, Hocus Pocus. Focus was a Dutch progressive rock band led by flutist and keyboardist Thijs van Leer. Hocus Pocus featured Van Leer's yodeling and nonsensical vocalizations over heavy guitar riffs, flute solos, and constant tempo changes. It was prog rock with a sense of humor. Released in 1971, it became a surprise hit in North America, reaching number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1973, 2 years after its original release. Focus released several more albums, but they could never recreate the mainstream breakthrough. The original lineup dissolved by the late 1970s. Hocus Pocus remained their calling card, frequently used in movies, commercials, and sports arenas whenever someone needs a song that's simultaneously rockin' and completely insane. Thijs van Leer still occasionally performs with Focus, but the band's moment in the spotlight lasted about as long as one of their yodeling passages. Number 2, Thin Lizzy, The Boys Are Back in Town.
Guess who just got back today?
Wait, Thin Lizzy, a one-hit wonder? In America, absolutely. While they had a significant career in Ireland and the UK, in the United States they're remembered for exactly one song. Thin Lizzy was an Irish rock band led by Phil Lynott, one of rock's first black Irish frontmen. The Boys Are Back in Town, from their 1976 album Jailbreak, featured that twin guitar attack, Lynott's cool vocals, and a chorus everyone can sing along to. The song reached number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became a rock radio staple. But in America, that was essentially it. Their follow-up singles didn't chart, and while later albums were critically acclaimed in Europe, American audiences moved on. Tragedy struck on January 4th, 1986, when Phil Lynott died from pneumonia and heart failure brought on by drug and alcohol use at age 36. The irony is that Thin Lizzy wasn't really a one-hit wonder. They were a successful band with a substantial body of work, but in American mainstream consciousness, they're the band that wrote that song about the boys being back in town, and nothing else. Number 1, Ram Jam, Black Betty. We've reached number 1 with one of the most controversial one-hit wonders of the 1970s. Ram Jam's Black Betty is a song with a complicated history going back much further than 1977. Black Betty originated as an African-American work song, possibly dating back to the 19th century. The earliest known recordings were made in 1933 featuring Texas prisoners. The most famous early version was recorded by Lead Belly in the 1930s and 1940s. Its origins are rooted in Black American culture and prison work songs. In the 1970s, Bill Bartlett formed Ram Jam specifically to release a hard rock version nationally. The song exploded, reaching number 18 on the Billboard Hot 100 and achieving even greater success internationally. But controversy followed immediately. The NAACP and Congress of Racial Equality called for a boycott, claiming the song's lyrics were insulting to black women. Ram Jam released one more album, but nothing else charted. The band dissolved in the early 1980s. The song itself refused to disappear, featured in countless movies, TV shows, and sporting events. It represents everything complicated about rock music's relationship with Black American culture, taking a work song born from suffering and transforming it into a massive hit for white musicians. So, there you have it. 10 bands who gave us unforgettable songs and then vanished from the mainstream music scene. Some disappeared by choice, some were victims of bad luck, and others simply couldn't handle sudden fame. But their music lives on, played on classic rock stations and covered by new generations. These one-hit wonders remind us that sometimes one perfect song is enough to achieve immortality. What's your favorite one-hit wonder from the 1970s? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the brightest flames burn the fastest.